Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Solilocast. A soliloquy is a self-imposed monologue in which the performer completely disregards the audience. In this case, it is obviously solely speaking to himself. So, fuck off. Wonderful. I like this one way better than the last one we had. What's going on? I haven't done it in a couple of days. And I'm not that energetic today either. I'm kind of like, whatever. So, we'll see how it turns out. As usual, I'm gonna use this time to roll my little joint. I think this is gonna be a short one again, because I don't really have a lot to say. Unless I start saying something and then I'll start rambling. The exercise behind this podcast is to speak righteously. Righteous speak. What does that mean? It just means to speak what I know to be true and to say it in a way that is not deceptive. Deceptive not in a way to others, more deceptive to myself. Doesn't matter how honest you want to be to other people. If you're lying to yourself, you're always gonna be under illusions and all that sort of stuff. A little bit what I like about this podcast is every episode could be a little bit different. Every episode could be a little bit more, could be more wild, it could be more thought out, it could be very random, it could be whatever. The freedom of just speaking and just saying what I mean and what I want to say is great. It's great. Why the reason I'm practicing it like this is because you need to practice everything. I probably could have just started doing like the podcast immediately like that, but I like to be prepared. I like to know how it feels like, what I'm gonna do. And now I know kind of like I don't look at the audio, I don't look too much at the mic. I'm not worried about my breathing. I'm more worried about what I'm thinking. So at this point, it's become rather easy to just talk into the mic, which is what I wanted, to just be able to explain my thoughts and my sense. I want to talk about gay people. I know that's a left turn, but I want to talk about the LGBTQ plus RTS community. How do I put this? Let me start with a disclaimer. Genuinely and generally speaking, I don't dislike or hate people based on their nationality, religion, sexuality. I judge people based on their character and their actions. That's what you can see. That's what you can go off of, right? Obviously, there's like cultural things to it, but we can't get too deep into that. So the main point is that I have to make that the disclaimer. That is kind of like why I want to talk about it. How come an entire group of people have become exempt of criticism? Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm saying criticism, because people like to take words and, what do you mean with that? I mean exactly what I said. Criticism. Constructive criticism, direct criticism, whatever type of criticism you have. How come that if you criticize somebody that is part of a certain group, it becomes malevolent, it becomes evil? You are a phobe, you're afraid, or you hate that. I am under the opinion that no group of people, generally nobody, should be exempt for criticism, no matter what happened to them, no matter where they come from, no matter, if you do something wrong, you've done something wrong. If you're acting in a way that is immoral or deceitful, or any sort of that stuff, it is still immoral, deceitful, whatever. It doesn't matter that you suck dick on the side. That has nothing to do with the topic. So what is this behavior that I'm talking about? Is it the gay sex? Ooh. Look, I don't care what you like to stick your dick in or what you don't want to stick your dick in, just whatever. Like I said, I don't give a fuck, honestly. Do you live your life? Free love for everybody. So that is not the behavior that I'm talking about. The behavior that I'm talking about is, if you remember in the olden days, I'm not talking the olden days, I'm talking like 2000s to 2015, around that part, right? Gay people would have a couple of arguments that they would use against conservatives. In my opinion, those were good arguments that made sense. They made sense. They brought the problem and the ridiculousness of that sort of thinking to the front. Come to find out why I'm shocked at today's standards of the community, if you call it like that, is to use exactly those type of things that has been used against them in the past. Let me explain that. So, in specifically now in this example about the trans community, transgender, again, let me do the disclaimer again. If you yourself feel like you were born in the wrong body and you need to do whatever you need to do, I think you should have the freedom, you should have the choice to do it, okay? That is not the discussion of the issue. The discussion of the issue comes in when you tell straight people that they are bad people if they do not want to be with someone who is transgender, okay? So, in what case does that not remind you, like in what way does that not remind you of, hold up, I need to burp. In what way does that not remind you of straight people, conservatives back then, telling gay people who they need to fall in love with and that they're bad because of who they love and who they want to fuck and who they don't want to fuck? Where do we agree on hypocrisy like this? Where would we go like, yeah, it's okay if this people do it, but it's not okay if these people do it, right? Since when is this hypersensitivity become a norm in the gay community? Because I've met gays of all ages. I don't look for them, but they find me. No, I've talked to gay people my age, older, way older, and usually like they're nice people, fun-loving people, but they have a certain roughness about them, like, because it's not easy, especially in a world that is that much against you. It's not easy to walk around like that. They have a certain toughness of character that without that, I don't know if many of them would survive, because there is a lot of discrimination out there. Again, I'm not discussing that. That's not what we're saying, right? Today, that roughness, I'm not even roughness, how could you call it? Just thicker skin. Let's call it thicker skin because that's what is most accurate, I believe. You cannot find that in the modern LGBT community and all of that. You don't find an ounce of that. What you find is the usage of words like homophobe, transphobe, all sorts of phobe. Do you know how dangerous these words are, right? Dangerous because as soon as you start pointing homophobe, transphobe, all sorts of phobe at everything, the words gets muddy. The word gets unclear. So the point where we actually have to call somebody a homophobe and a transphobe, when we have to say it loud so that it's heard, it will not be taken seriously. Do you think, I'm talking from my own experience with people that were around me who didn't really care about, they had a little bit more of a neutral position than I am, because I am for gay rights, whatever rights. I don't like, if you have the right to marry, that's the right that you get, that's the right we all have. I am for people being happy and not being discriminated against. The people that I'm talking about, they were more neutral. They're like, it's not my world, I don't have to deal with it. They didn't hate, but they weren't supportive of it either. After this whole, I'm not even call it woke movement, whatever, after this whole skin-thinned phase that we went through. Fuck, what was I saying? Hold up. I was talking about the word homophobia. This is a problem when I actually try to say something and then I'm having a point and then I lose my point. The moment you want to really call somebody out for it, people will, right, I know what I'm saying. People will not take it serious anymore, right? So these people were rather neutral towards that through the thin-skinned face that was being perpetrated, whatever, media, all of that. People have become actually less inclined to be supportive of gay people, trans people, lesbian, whatever. Why? Because now you are being the conservatives, telling people what they should do and how they're bad people and how they're wrong and how they're that and how they're this. How is this the hypocrisy like this going on? How do people in the gay community let this shit go on? And I'm talking specifically to the older generations, because like the newer generations, I gotta be real, I gotta be honest, I don't think you can talk to them. I think they have been very much indoctrinated, and the thing is, when someone believes they're right and that there's no other thing other than their truth and their right, you can't talk to them, okay? At least you should try to have an open mind and conversation. Hear other people's point. Listen, I will listen to a racist. I will actually listen to him. I'm like, okay, why do you hate me or Asians or this or that or that? Explain it to me, because that way I can understand it, and maybe I could help you get out of that shit, okay? But in the today's, how do you say, atmosphere, zone or whatnot, it is, people don't like to talk. They don't like hear something different than what they already believe, because it gives them a sense of oh, I am wrong. If this one opinion of that I hold is wrong, it means my whole being is wrong, my whole entirety is a fake, whatever. That's not what it is. We all can be misguided, we all can make mistakes, but we all can learn, we all can grow, we all can be understanding. And why I call it hypocrisy, I'm not scared to call it hypocrisy, is because how can you preach love, acceptance, open-mindedness when you're one of the most hateful, close-minded, ideological groups in the modern times? That's why I call it hypocritical, because it's not any of the things you claim to be saying, you know? It's not any of that. So, I need to find my point again. Hold up. I would this is funny because I know nobody listens to this, but on the off chance that there is an older gay person, I don't want to fucking misgender anybody, even though, you know, that's a different topic for later. But I would suggest to you to get yourself some young gay mentees. And if you're a young homosexual or pansexual or whatever kind of sexual, get the fuck off TikTok, okay? Stop listening to people who don't know you, have never talked to you, who can't look you in the eye and know the humanity in you. Try to find actual gay older people who have been through some things, who have been through this, who have navigated it and have a little bit more experience on than you, and have not just been, indoctrinated in the school of thought that is I don't like to call it neoliberalism, because words are connected to certain groups. If you use that word, that means you're part of this group, and if you use that word, you're part of this group. Words are not beholden to anybody, I think. Like, neoliberalism explains it to me because it's new. It's the new form of leftism. I call it neo-leftism because that's not really liberal what they doing. But we're getting into hair splitting again. That doesn't matter. This school of neo-leftist liberalism is everything. It's the opposite of everything it claims to be. It claims to be about love and acceptance and letting people live their lives and all of that, when in reality is about pushing their own narrative, their own worldview upon everybody else. Again, I repeat, I do not care what do you with your personal life, bro. I have enough issues with my own mind, my own life. I don't have time or energy to worry about what you are doing, what you trying to mess with, deal with, whatever. The moment it changes is when you try to step into my game. When you try to tell me what words I can use, what people I should date and marry and whatnot, what goals I should have. If I want to have a wife and a family and kids, that makes me a bad person now. How? Explain that to me. Oh, because you don't want to be with someone. Okay, no, I don't want to marry a man. I want to have a wife and I want to have kids. It's that bad. It's what I want. Just like what you want is to either eat pussy or suck dick or be a fluid little butterfly, whatever you want to do, go ahead. God fucking bless you. Go ahead. Do you. But stop pushing your shit on other people who have nothing to do with that. That's where it's no longer about acceptance, about this is my worldview. I know it's right. I think it's right. So you have to do it too. You have to think the same way. And if you don't, you're hateful, you're spiteful, and you're evil. That doesn't sound very open-minded or liberal to me. Just saying. So, this leads me to the next issue. By the way, I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but I am talking about this right now. Like the whole gay topic, I just thought about this. I'm thinking about it the whole time as it's happening, and I have certain thoughts about it, but I didn't know I was going to talk about it on the cast right now. So I'm just kind of piecing it together. So, the next bigger issue, in my opinion, children, schools, and teachers. All right, let me think back. We had in sexual education. We had when I was about 11, 12. Okay, the sexual education that we had was purely physical, purely scientific. We got taught the body parts of people. This is what's called the vulva, minora. This is this and this is that, all of that. This is the tingly balls, whatever, right? We got taught about methods of protection and sexual transmitted diseases and all of that, okay? Later on, when we came to, that was like the end of middle school, when we came to high school, we got a little bit of a more thorough introduction, I guess. It's not really introduction, more an explanation, all of that. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was just more thorough. The reason why they did that is because you can't be fucking talking to 10, 11, 12-year-olds about all too heavy sexual topics. Why? Well, because they're fucking kids, okay? They're children, okay? So, in my mind, we should teach all kids about acceptance. We should teach them there's a bunch of different stuff out there. People should have the freedom to be all sorts of way that they want to be, and us as individuals should just accept them for who they are, okay? Basic acceptance should be the norm, okay? Why are we bringing gender and sexuality into a talk with people who are younger than 11, 12? Mind you, the education that I got about sex at 11, 12 was very, very scientific. It wasn't about, ooh, some days I feel like this, some days I feel like that. This dude likes it up the ass, It was very scientific, okay? Man, I'm really trying to say what I'm trying to say, because there's a part of me that's want to go wild and say wild shit, just fucking go, bro. But we're being diplomatic. We're trying to be, tac. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be tactful still. Okay. You shouldn't be talking about kids with that shit, honestly. Like, I would be very mad as a parent if my kids were being taught worldviews that I do not agree with before they even are taught anything of the basic thing that they should know, like reading, writing, math, history, philosophy. Maybe there's a lot of shit that they don't teach you in school that already should be taught in school, but that's another story. How come a teacher, again, mostly white, female, young teachers, liberal young teachers, go into schools and they press their views on the young kids? Now let me get a couple steps back. Because the way that I'm saying it, what do you mean? So these young teachers say, shut up. Imagine if I, as a teacher, I myself personally, it's a dumb example, I like to eat shit, okay? I myself know there aren't a lot of people who like to eat shit, most people don't like to eat shit. There's a small percentage we like to eat shit. That's okay, right? So if I'm a teacher and I go into the classroom and I tell them, yo, kids, I like to eat shit. And guess what? There is a good chance some of you like to eat shit too. How many parents will be mad at that? How many parents will be upset that somebody is imposing their own world beliefs and all of that onto their children without their acceptance, in the belief that the parents have no say at all? No say at all. Okay? Would you think the parents will be mad because it's about eating shit? Or do you think the parents will be mad because it is a violation of the trust that they give the teachers with their kids? You send your kids to school for them to learn something important and valuable, not the own personal beliefs of the teacher, right? What you do in your own home, how you self-identify, that is your home, your self-identity. That has nothing to do with what goes on in the classroom, which again, just telling them to be accepting of everything that they may find, not everything in that way, you know, like, ooh, everything, but be acceptance of different people's choices and what they want to do and how they want to live their life. That would be more than fucking enough, I think. But we have gay flags in the classroom and stuff like that. I don't mind the gay flags in the classroom. The problem is that is a personal belief. That is what if I had a flag of a dick and a vagina and it stands for straight fucking, and I'm that's my flag, I have it on my classroom. You can't do that. I bet even if you would put like a logo or a shirt of a sports team that may not be from the air or something, people would be like, you can put that, you can hang that up in your home, okay? That's not really from our school or whatever. Maybe that's a little bit extreme, but whatever. From the example, it is what it is, right? I don't think that, like, ooh, gay people shouldn't be teachers. If you're a good teacher, you're a good teacher. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is, what you're attracted to. What I do believe is, though, that you should keep your personal beliefs, your personal doings personal. Especially when you're dealing with, one, kids who are very fucking susceptible and have already have a how to say, they're susceptible to be I don't even know how to say it, bro, for real. Kids are fragile, bro, like, and especially when it comes to the whole sexuality thing, not just sexuality, but sex ed, all of that stuff. It is not reasonable to confront kids at that age. Like, they're talking about pre-K, teaching pre-K kids, all of that stuff. That is not good, bro. That is not. Kids don't even think about that stuff. Kids really don't. They're not about it. And I've seen a lot of videos where teachers, but the kids are so ready, they have so many questions, Yeah, they're kids and you introduce them to something that seems out of their fucking world, that seems like, of course they're gonna ask questions, of course they're gonna be, and yeah, you can tell the kids, oh, that's how it is, that's okay, and they're gonna be, yeah, sure, that's okay, that's how it is. That doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean that the kids inside of them feel, oh, I have a need to know all about pansexuality and all of that stuff. Because in the end, it is a sexual preference that we're talking about. Why are you talking about sex with little kids, bro? What? Why? Why why don't you let the parents handle that stuff at home, which is way more in their own field of what they should do than a teacher? Why don't you just teach the kids what is in the curriculum, which is a whole nother story? Like, instead of trying to teach our kids about forced acceptance, how about we overlook the curriculum and try to actually teach them some real stuff, try actually making them smarter instead of making them regurgitate knowledge that they put into their minds for one exam and they just fucking forget it. That's a different issue again, completely different issue. Back to my point. I don't have a point, I'm just rambling, never mind that. Am I gay at mad people? Yes, I am very mad at gay people. Very mad. I'm not mad at them because they're gay. I'm mad at them because they make gay people look bad. Because, like I said before, people who weren't homophobic or weren't inclined to look at gay people a certain way, who just didn't care, they were just living their life, they were just doing them, feel attacked now. They feel their children are being attacked. They feel they're being forced to conform to something that is not them. Is this about revenge? And when I say gay people, I don't just mean gay. I mean the whole LGBT community. I'm sorry, I have to kind of broaden it because I'm not gonna say this whole every time I'm talking about that, right? Is this about revenge? Because what you're doing sounds exactly what straight people were doing all this time, and that is very hypocritical if you ask me. I mean, come on. That's all I have to say. That's like, how can you want to stand up and be like on a soapbox and talk about this and talk about that when you're using the exact same tactic? I said the same thing to black supremacists who think black people are inherently better than white people. Are you fucking insane, bro? Are you like, you don't become the man by beating the man. That's all I'm saying. Okay? To me, it's the same thing. You don't, bro. If you look into darkness, the darkness will look into you, my friend. Don't you understand? It is something. I hope that we can find a balanced way to live, where people can just be who they want to be and do what they want to do, and people will leave them the fuck alone. And other people, they don't need to understand it. They don't need to even agree with it. But they just let them, like, okay, it's their life, whatever. Let me live my life. Let me take care of my kids. Let me make sure that my area and my worldview is okay with me. It's okay with everything else. Well, I hope that we can get to that point one day. Do I believe it's going to be like that? We'll see. I'm mad at gay people because you are becoming the thing I've debated so many times. I have gay people in my family. I have trans people in my family. I've had discussions with my own father about homosexuality, where he's quoting the Bible, and I had to re-quote the Bible to him to make him realize what he's talking doesn't make any sense. I feel that all this, it's just so fucking dumb, bro. This time feels not wasted, but I feel stupid. Because a lot of argument is emotional. Like, how can you be like this to another person? Why wouldn't you just let someone be who they want to be and believe what they want to believe, do what they want to do? And now you're doing the same thing. Now you're literally ending people's lives, their careers, with one word. Oh, he's a homophobe. He's a TERF. You can't fucking make up words and start calling me. Imagine if I had one leg and I started calling two-legged people tooties. You fucking tootie, get out of here with your 2 legs. Like, everybody has 2 legs, bitch. It's just you. You the only one with 1 leg. The fuck? Okay, see, I'm starting to get. Let's calm down again. Shit. You can't fucking make up words and start calling people that just because you don't like how their point of view and their opinion makes you feel. If that's the case, let homophobic people call you faggot, because that's how your worldview makes them feel. They feel uncomfortable with your life. They call you, you're a faggot. You're being a faggot. Yeah, it's the same thing. Just, man, life is 2 coins. It's 1 coin but 2 sides, and I feel like when you're on one side, you can't see how similar you are to the other side. All you can see is a wallet or something. I don't know. But do I have another point, or am I done? Right, I have one more point. To anybody who's listening, anybody who's there, I'm talking about my experience. I am not afraid to be called homophobic, transphobic, a TERF, because I'm not afraid to be called something I know I'm not. Right? I know it in my heart. You can ask every gay person I know if I hate gay people, whatever. I'm not afraid to be called something I am not. And that is probably what they fear the most, because it is the fear of what other people may say, other people may think, oh, I'm gonna get cancer, I'm gonna get this. That's what gives them power. So technically, they're the fucking dark side, bro. They're using fear as power. How can you still believe you're about love and equality and all of that when you're using fear, mob oppression as a tool? Just like conservatives, close-minded, straight people used to do. How? So yeah. The whole turf thing, like, bro, 5 years ago, everybody was a turf. Everybody was a turf. That shit didn't exist 5 years ago. How the fuck you gonna be like, you're a tootie. I see 2 legs right there. Yo. It is what it is. At this point, I'm just hoping that, like, they're coming after each other, which is funny. Not funny. It is a little funny, because the way that they've been going after people, you can't fucking help it but have a little bit of schadenfreude just watching that shit go down. I feel sorry for the lesbians, really, because people have been giving them shit because they wouldn't date the trans woman and whatnot. They've been closing lesbian clubs. You know how few lesbian clubs there are? There are tons of gay clubs, but like just lesbian clubs, I would assume there are not many. And they closed one down, or they switched the head of the lesbian committee. They switched the lesbian head committee with a trans woman and stuff like that, which is wild. It's crazy. And like once they start eating each other up, they're gonna realize, this is what we've been doing. This is fucked up. And I hope like that will make people come a little bit down and balance and let us get together again as one people and be like, hey, if you want to be called sir, be called sir. Personally, I'm not gonna do that. I'm still gonna fuck with you and all of that, whatnot, but that's not me. You can either accept that and be cool, or you cannot accept that and then, we're not cool or whatever, No hate either way. That is my choice, just like you made your choice to change your pronouns. So see yourself this way, see yourself that way, whatever. I'm making a choice for myself. If you're a friend of mine and I love you and I'm support you in everything you do, and you come to me and you tell me, look, I feel this way, this is what it is, call me sir, I'll be like, yo bro, sir, what's up? Sir, what's up? But I know you. That's my friend. That's somebody I support. That's somebody I know. I don't give a fuck if you some random ass bitch on the internet getting mad at people for not calling their demon self or whatever, or Sue self or whatever they calling themselves now. Then no, I really don't care. I don't know you people. You're just a mass. And you act as a mass. That's why I'm saying, if you're part of the LGBT community, find yourself real live, older gay folks. Watch out, because even if I would be saying this to girls, like, you need to find real life older men. Watch out, okay? I'm just saying we're all people, no matter what we like to fuck, okay? So find real life people who give you some actual advice on this shit. Not just people who are as indoctrinated in this whole ideology as you are. And if you're an older lesbian, an older gay, an older trans, whatever, look out for these young ones. For real, like, what is going on? We are all, as a community, be it the black community, the gay community, the Asian community, the nerd community, the whatever, we need to look out for the next generations of whatever. Right? And right now I think like the kids have been just thrown out in this internet world, like, go ahead nigga, survive, you'll be fine, come back with colored hair, I'm a sir. Like, yo, you're a dog now? Anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to say, bro. Even though I didn't even know I wanted to say. I knew I wanted to talk about something, but that's a topic that's been on my mind for a while. We might be revisited, we might not. We'll see. In any case, my name's Ref. If you didn't know, now you do know. I wish you peace and love. No matter who you are, what you believe in, where you're from, what you like, what you don't like. As long as you're a good person, you're good with me. If you're an asshole, fuck you. Doesn't matter. And good night. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Solilocast. A soliloquy is a self-imposed monologue in which the performer completely disregards the audience. In this case, it is obviously solely speaking to himself. So, fuck off. Wonderful. I like this one way better than the last one we had. what's going on? I haven't done it in a couple of days, and I'm not that energetic today either. I'm kind of like, whatever. So we'll see how it turns out. As usual, I'm gonna use this time to roll my little joint. I think this is gonna be a short one again because I don't really have a lot to say, unless I start saying something and then I'll start rambling. The exercise behind this podcast is to speak righteously. Righteous speak. What does that mean? It just means to speak what I know to be true, and to say it in a way that is not deceptive. Deceptive not in a way to others, more deceptive to myself. Doesn't matter how honest you want to be to other people. If you're lying to yourself, you're always gonna be under illusions and all that sort of stuff. A little bit what I like about this podcast is